Hi everyone, Lucky here speaking, and today I just wanted to share a few pointers to everyone who's trading, right? Sometimes I know um, it's a bit hard for some people to make some analysis, proper, accurate analysis. So today I just want to share a few pointers on how to undergo the whole process of making your analysis, right? Each and every single person has those steps whereby they get to make, or those rules whereby they get to make for them to complete their analysis, right? So today I just want to share a few pointers on how to undergo um, your analysis, making your analysis. Okay, first things first, have 3 time frames, right? 3 time frames. What do I mean by 3 time frames? You have to have the first time frame for your directional bias, right? The second time frame is for reading structure, what I call structure. And your third time frame is for entries. If ever you can master this thing here, you're gonna find yourself always being on the right side of the market, right? But it doesn't always mean that if ever you can be able to, let's say, have the directional bias structure and for the entries, it doesn't mean that you're gonna be profitable. It just gives you a simple way of reading the market, right? So for a directional bias, we normally look at the higher time frames. Normally, if ever you're trading currency pairs, you're gonna look at the weekly, the weekly or the daily time frames, right? And for reading structure, you would normally use the 4 hour time frame and the 1 hour time frame. And for entries, you would sometimes use the 15-minute time frame or the 1 hour time frame, right? So in the case of volatility indices, they normally range between the daily time frame, because mostly on the weekly time frame we can't be able to read price properly. But from the daily time frame, you can get your directional bias, and then as you go down through the time frames, probably the 4 hour time frame and the 1 hour time frames, you can be able to read structure, and mostly the 15-minute time frame and the 5-minute time frame for entries, right? So another thing, what you need to avoid doing is I understand that a lot of people love those lower time frames, right? They love those lower time frames, but with the issue of lower time frames, there is a lot of noise, right? I call noise. With this noise, sometimes you might find out that suppose you have, let's say, you have some bearish candles, probably on a 1 hour time frame or a 4 hour time frame. You might see like 3 candles like this. Let's say maybe you have a bit of a rejection on the upside like this, right? We have rejection weeks like this. On a lower time frame, let me just tell you what might happen here. On a lower time frame, what you might find is a lot of noise, right? It's a lot of noise, having like bullish candles, bearish candles here and there. Like those candles are clustered within a consolidation, what we call a consolidation. So to avoid the noise, you always need to go to a higher time frame, because you're gonna get more confirmation from a higher time frame than a lower time frame. You're gonna get like the most valuable directional bias for directional bias on a higher time frame than on a lower time frame. So by so doing, let's say you're moving from a higher time frame, like let's say a 1 hour time frame, and you have reached your level of interest, right? And you have reached your level of interest. Let's say price has been going up, right? Price has been going up, and we are reaching a level of interest. Let's say this is our level of interest, right? On a higher time frame, when you see let's say a bearish candle like this, it's gonna give you the confirmation. You're gonna get the confirmation on a lower time frame, because you would have seen that on a higher time frame perspective, the candle closed below our level of interest, right? So those are the important things, guys. So right now, I just want to undergo a few tips of analysis. As I've mentioned, you need to have at least 3 time frames, right? Now, as you can see here, I'm looking at V101S index, like volatility 101S index, right? As you can see here, one thing for sure, we can see that price is not clear, right? Price is not clear, but we can read whatever that's happening here. We can have the directional bias, the directional bias, the directional bias, right? With the issue of directional bias, as you can see right now, the market rallied to the upside, and now, okay, let me do this. Price rallied to the upside, right, represented by blue, and then it rallied to the downside, right? So we need to ask ourselves, since while price has been going down, we need to identify the major levels previously, because we are on a daily time frame right now. Price started off somewhere here, right? So we are expecting price to at least come to this level so that it can be supported, and then it start going up. So that's the directional bias, right? Okay, let me clear all the as we can see right now, we are in a downtrend, right? What can we do? We identify the structure's most lowest point, right? This is the structure's most lowest point. Here, price, this is the lowest point on this current structure, right? So by identifying that, we're going to make a few adjustments as we go to the lower time frames, right? So let me just adjust it. Yes. So as you can see right now, we are seeing that price has been rallying to the downside, right? So we are expecting at least price to come and bounce off this level, and then we'll be looking for buying opportunities. But for now, what's the directional bias? The directional bias is it's for selling opportunities. We're looking for selling opportunities, right? That's the directional bias. We are only looking for selling opportunities, right? So with the issue of looking for selling opportunities, now, okay, we have identified the lowest point, right? We have identified the highest point of the market. There are some more valuable areas here. There's another here level here, as you can see. Price here, as you can see, price found resistance here. Price found resistance here. Price found support here. Price found support here. Price found resistance here. So these are the important regions that we are able to identify at this point in time. Now, let's move to a lower time frame. This is how I get to analyze, guys. This is how I get to analyze. This is how I get to predict the next movement the next movement of the market, because right now I know my directional bias, meaning I'm only looking for opportunities, selling opportunities, meaning I will have more profits if I look for for selling opportunities rather than buying opportunities. Meaning the odds here, 80% of the time we want to find ourselves selling, and then 20% of the time we'll be buying, right? So let's go to the next lower time frame, because right now we already know the directional bias. Number one, what's our directional bias? We are looking for selling opportunities. Excuse me. We are looking for selling opportunities, right? So we go to a lower time frame. Now we have to read structure, guys. We have to read structure. As I've mentioned earlier on, this is that lowest point. You need to, when you analyze, guys, you keep in mind the bigger picture as you go down to the lower picture, right? To the smaller picture. But as you trade on the smaller picture, you put in mind of what we are expecting on the higher time frames, right? So our expectations is to look for selling opportunities, right? And until price reaches this level here, we'll be looking for selling opportunities, right? Now, so now that we have identified those areas, now it's time to read structure, right? As you can see, price has been in a downtrend. Why? Because we formed a low, a high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, okay, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. What's our next anticipated move? A lower high to the downside, right? Now, okay, that's what we know. Right now we're reading structure, right? And as you can see, price has been in a downtrend. Avoid using moving averages, guys. Avoid using moving averages, because with the issue of moving averages, even though sometimes you might be okay, so right now we know the directional bias of the market, right? So price has been supported here. So price has been acting as support around this level, and then it acted as a resistance around this level, right? So this is our level of interest, even in future, because this level has been, as it acted as resistance previously. It acted as a resistance here. We shouldn't forget that, right? Even though I normally say we should focus on current structure, yes, we are currently focusing on the current structure with reference to this point here, right? Yes. So so we're gonna move to the 4-hour time frame, continue reading structure. Now, we need to look at this, right? We are only going to look for buying opportunities when we reach this level here. We should put that in mind. This was the lowest level from the higher time frame, right? This was the lowest level from the higher time frame. And right now, what we are having is that price has been in a downtrend. We had a form of this support becoming a resistance right now. So it's an important level. So we're gonna go to a lower time, next lower time frame, which is the 1-hour time frame, right? So from this 1-hour time frame right now, we need to identify structure again, right? So price reversed around this level here, right? Reversed around this level, but as we look at the market in depth, we can see that price has been supported here on around this level here. So which one do we look at? We look at where price has been supported most of the time, right? So this is an important level as well, right? This is an important level as well, and it might have an effect in future, right? It might have an effect in future. So now, uh, what are we looking at right now? And so we rally to the downside. Mind you, as you know, in most of my videos, I tell you that price moves in impulse, correction, impulse, right? So we had an impulse to the downside. Whatever that's happening right now, it's a correction. So we're expecting that correction to reach at least one of these two levels here, right? At least one of these two levels here. It can either, we are forecasting right now, it can either come to this level here, bounce off and go down, or it can rally to this level here, to the upside, bounce off here, and then start going down, right? So, but there are some entry rules that we follow here, right? There are some entry rules that we follow here. And I'm only giving you tips, guys. I'm only giving you tips on how to make your analysis. Now, if price does come to this level, what about our target profits? If it comes to this level and bounces off and goes down, what is our possible target profit? Our possible target profit number one is this level. Why? Because price reversed around this level. So we'll be looking at TP number one around this level, right? So, and then again, what will be our TP number two? TP number two, okay, this will be our TP number one as price goes to this level or either this level. This will be our TP number one. This will be our target profit number one, or this will be our target profit TP2, right? Because it's where we're expecting the market to come and make a bounce from, right? Now, so as you can see, guys, now we're going to focus on either the 15-minute time frame, right? On the 15-minute time frame. And as I've mentioned, this is a huge correction. This is what we call it the corrective phase. It's an exhaustion phase. Then we're going to have an impulse again, right? So let's see. Yes, this is an exhaustion phase. This is an exhaustion phase because we had an impulse. This is more or less to be a correction, right? So from doing this, you can see how I get to approach the market, guy. How I get to make those analyses and everything, right? So it is very, 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 very important that that one gets to identify all these levels here, right? So again, as you can see, that we're anticipating that which levels of interest here, right? So it's a bit easy, but with the very same analogy, price always moves in corrective, either an impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction, maybe a correction again, and then you're gonna have an impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction, right? So if we can understand this, we call it the wave theory, right? We call it the wave theory. You can understand the impulsive phases and the corrective phases, and then you'll always be on the right side of the market, right? So I'm not gonna point out a lot of things here. So again, let's look at another chart and follow the very same set of rules, right? Let's go to V100 here. From the V100, the very same thing, we go to a higher time frame, try to check the directional bias, right? Try to check the directional bias, right? As you can see, price price bounced off this level here. As you see, I've already marked. Let me just remove all these objects here. I was busy analyzing this, but I wasn't looking to get involved on this because I had price bounced off here, and again it bounced off here, right? So looking at this right now, so I can see that the overall trend is a downtrend, right? We are in a downtrend, right? Focus on the most recent two touches. We update structure. We are in a downtrend, right? We are in a downtrend. So which opportunities am I looking at? I'm only looking for what? For selling opportunities. And so I'm in a downtrend, but price has been supported right now here, right? So what's the next possible thing that might happen is that price may rally to the upside to this point here and start continue going down, right? Or those are the two possible things. Or price can come to this level, break it and retest, and then continue going up, right? So because price right now it found support, but we were not, as I was saying, I wasn't looking to get involved within the space here. Why? It's because it's small, right? It's small. I wouldn't risk my capital for this, right? So right now what I'm looking for a breakout here on this level, a retest, and then I'll start maybe getting involved in the market. So for now, I won't be looking at this. I'll just be patient enough. Let's go to a lower time frame. Let's say the 1 hour time frame. The 4 hour. Let's go to the 4 hour. Okay, as you can see, price had an impulse, and then the right now we are moving in a corrective phase, right? It had an impulse. We are in a corrective phase. So what's the next possible move? An impulse to the downside before you can push to the upside. So it's very important to understand this, guys. Price right now, it's currently correcting, and then we are anticipating a move to the downside, right? So price may come back again to this level to retest it because we are moving correctively. So the 1 hour time frame, as you can see, this is a huge correction, right? This is a huge correction. Right? First touch, second touch. This is a huge correction. This is a huge correction here, right? So possibly right now, let's say we'll be looking at this level here has been tested, right? So, but we can't get involved right now here because of something, but I won't mention it right now. So we're expecting a push to the downside, a retest on this level, and then we'll be looking for selling opportunity because the next movement is an impulsive phase, right? So yeah, that's it for V100, and this is how I get to analyze, guys. This is how I get to analyze. Now let's see volatility 25 index, right? Just sharing some pointers here, guys. I'm just sharing some pointers. Let's go to the daily time frame. Okay, so this is an interesting one. So now on the daily time frame, right? Let's go to the weekly and see if we can read price. Okay, now look at this. From the weekly time frame, the directional bias is a downtrend, meaning we're looking for more selling opportunities than buying opportunities, right? So now after this analysis, we need to check, right? What's the lowest point, possible point? This was the lowest possible point on a weekly time frame. The next lowest point, as you can see, price reacted around that level. Now we had this level here. Again, price reacted around that level there, right? So we'll be focusing mainly around the most recent supports and resistances, right? The most recent supports and resistances. So this is from a higher time frame perspective. As you can see, right now we are moving in a downtrend. We're going to dissect this piece here, right? We're going to dissect this piece here. So from this piece here, we can see that we are in a downtrend. Let's go move down to the daily time frame. Let's move to the daily time frame. Okay, on the daily time frame, as you can see, we were looking at this level here. So right now, as you can see, price moved impulsively, corrected around this level, showing that it cannot break this level here. And then it started going down, right? So now let's go to the 4-hour time frame and dissect this, right? So how do we go about wanting to get involved in such instances, right? With such instances, we're looking to get involved to the market around. Okay, let me adjust this level here. Yeah. Okay, we are looking to get involved to the market when it reaches. We're looking to get involved to the market when it reaches. When it reaches this level here, right? For now, price is going down, so we'll be looking for buying opportunities when price reaches this area here, right? When price reaches this area here, we'll be looking for buying opportunities or a break or a retest, and then we'll continue looking for such opportunities here. But still, since all the market is currently going down, we can still dissect this area here, right? This area here, as we can see, price is in a downtrend until we reach this level of interest here, right? So what can we do? We look left from a point of reference. As we can see, price struggled around this level here, right? Price struggled around this level. Why? It acted as support here, later on acted as resistance, acted as support here, and then right now it's acting as support again, right? So are we looking to buy the market? Clearly no. Why? Because we haven't reached our level of interest yet, right? Or we haven't reached our level of interest. So we're still looking for selling opportunities. I was gonna share a certain trick, but those in the premium group, they know that we are looking for selling opportunities until we break a certain level around this piece of information, right? Uh, let's see. Let's dissect this, guys. As you can see, price has been in a downtrend, right? Has been in a downtrend. So the question is, where are we going to get involved in the market, right? Because we're looking for selling opportunities, but where are we going to be looking to make some entries, right? Now, as you can see here, price has been supported here. Let me do this. As you can see, guys, I'm making some simple analysis. Price has been supported here. And we can take this, draw up a support line here, right? So now, where can we look for buying opportunities? Meaning right now, from the 15-minute time frame, this is where we'll be looking for our entries, right? Right now, we're not willing to get involved in the market because we're still in a downtrend, right? So we're at least expecting the market to come to this level and see how it reacts, and then we're going to start selling, right? Or we're going to go up, break this level and break the trend line, come back to this level and retest, and then start going up. This is when we'll be looking for some buying opportunities, right? Provided price doesn't break this current level here. Let's move to another crash 1000. Okay, let's see this. Let's see this. Okay, now I made some analysis yesterday because I was trying to. Okay, let me just go through this again. Let me just remove all these things here, right? Now, from this, we notice something, right? We notice something. Let's go to a weekly time frame and start to read price a bit proper. Now, as you can see, guys, as you can see, we dissect this. Price found the highest point here. This was the lower point here, right? So now we need to identify on this piece of information on what's happening, right? Price has been this was an impulse, a correction, an impulse. What's the next phase? A huge correction, right? And then the next phase is going to be an impulse. So we need to put that in mind, right? So we go down to a lower time frame. On a lower time frame, we're going to try and dissect this, right? This piece of information. Now, so this is our most recent lower high, higher low. I mean to say, this is our most recent higher low, and then this is our most recent higher high, right? And this is our higher high as well, and this was our high, right? So after this, we need to check what's the most recent higher high. Okay, this was our most recent high. The previous most recent higher high, it's this one, right? It's this one. So as you can see, price rallied to the upside as an impulse, and then right now it came back, retested this level, and then we broke, right? So we're expecting a retest on this level. Mind you guys, this is a huge correction, right? Meaning we're expecting the next movement to be an impulse, right? So how do we go about getting involved within this? All right, how do we go about getting involved here? Now look at this. We will only get involved in the market because when, let's say right now we are in a corrective phase, right? So meaning we're expecting more or less like a corrective pattern, right? We're expecting more or less like a corrective pattern. So what I'll be looking at is, at least I would want price to create for me within this piece of information some sort of like a lower low here, right? I would expect price to create something more or less like a lower low here, a lower low, meaning I won't get involved right now, guys. I would expect price to create a lower low here, maybe push a bit to the upside, maybe come back down like this, right? This is what I'll be expecting until I get a push to the upside, right? Until I get a push to the upside. So that's what I'll be looking at in order for me to get involved in this, meaning if price can be able to push, if price can be able to push to the upside, I'll be looking to sell at this level here and then get involved here. And then once price gets to this level, I'll be looking for buying opportunities to the upside, because the main reason is to look for buying opportunities, but I won't miss the sell opportunity if it comes to this level here, right? So yeah, that's what I'll be looking at for crash 1000, right? Putting in mind that we have this level here, right? This level here. So meaning right now, what may happen is that on the lower time frames, we may get a push to the upside to come and retest this level and start going down to this level here, and then we're gonna have that push to the upside, right? So those are the possible movements that may occur. So from the lower time frame, as I've mentioned, we're expecting a bounce to this level. So look at the price as it reaches this level on what's the reaction, right? Because we are currently in a downtrend. Now, okay, let's go to volatility 75 index. Okay, um, the setup is currently maturing. As I've mentioned, guys, price normally moves in impulse, a correction, an impulse, meaning the next possible phase is a correction before an impulse, right? Because we had an impulse correction, right? So we can anticipate those movements as we are looking at the higher time frame perspectives, right? From the higher time frame, we can see that we are in an uptrend. So we're only looking for buying opportunities, meaning we're only looking to get involved around those retests, right? Those corrective phases are the ones which are going to give us an edge over this, right? So we'll be looking to make our entries either on the 15-minute time frame or the 5-minute time frame. So right now we'll be expecting a bounce of this level here to the upside. That's where you'll be looking for buying opportunities, right? So I guess this video, guys, will help most of you to identify um, the phases of the market and how to go in depth into this, right? There's a whole lot of methods to analyze the market, but once you create those set of rules, you'll be able to have an edge over the market. Create a set of rules. By a set of rules, I mean create a trading plan, right? Create a trading plan. If ever you don't see something happening, there's no need for you to get involved in the market, right? But if ever you get to see a familiar thing that you've back tested it, and then you see that it's currently happening, that's then and only then that you'll want to get involved within the market. All right. So I hope guys this was beneficial for you, and more details will be in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Loot Trading Institute. I'll be sharing more content like this to help better your trading experience, right? And if uh, if if you need assistance in going in too deep on this, I'm available. I have a course that I'm offering about all these things when it comes to entry rules and everything. So I just hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I'll keep on sharing such content to give an insight around the market, and keep on giving you all those basics so that you can improve your trading. Right? I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Thank you.